We're here at Stitch Inc. and we're here in a training session, and we have wardrobe specialist Randy Zaragoza and we have wardrobe specialist Juan Navarro. And we're going through these details because this is an example and a situation of buyer beware. Get what you pay for and have the proper expectation. For example, if you are going to buy a custom-made Cadillac Escalade, well, that's wonderful. And when you get it, you're so happy it's got everything you wanted. You get home, you're still thrilled. You open up the hood because you want to see it while it's still really clean, and it's a Chevy engine on the inside. Now, there's nothing wrong with Chevy and there's nothing wrong with Cadillac, but you bought a custom-made Cadillac. That's what you wanted and expected. So that's what we're here to talk about. Here we have a company in the green suit here. This is supposedly custom-made. It says specially tailored for the individual. Okay, and this is tailor-made. And it's on the internet, like a lot of garments custom are. But they're not custom. Custom means it's made to fit only Randy. It's made only to fit Juan. Not I'm buying some generic size and then you're going to make it so it fits me. No, from the ground up, it starts that way and is cut to only you. The way your shoulder is forward, back, up, down, all kinds of details. We're going to compare these. On the other side here, we have a full bespoke custom made suit from Bespoke by Custom Stitches. And full bespoke can take anywhere right around 8 weeks. Your quote custom comes around much faster. Now, it's not bad, it's just not custom. What it is, it's what we call made to measure, and in the trade, made to measure means it's a standardized size that's just adjusted to the waist. Randy and Juan have 2 different waistlines and they're 2 different heights. Almost, okay. And all of those details are put into the program so that you end up with a result that's only for each individual. Here, Juan met the gentleman, and the gentleman came in because he needs our help in customizing a custom, quote, custom suit. First problems that he ran into is A, we have a full done sleeve with functional buttonholes. That means you can actually button and unbutton them. Some people call them surgeon sleeves, some people call them chef sleeves, because unbuttoning it like this, you then can easily roll the sleeve up. But they did this, the workmanship's pretty good, but they pre-did this. By pre-doing it, as Juan observed, the sleeve was too long. Well, trying to change the length when you already have all the fabric cut, good luck. There's only so much we can move it around, and that's very little. Also, it is normal to have chef or surgeon sleeves where it's prepped, that's where the white stitching here is, so that after we check the proper long enough, short enough, we can actually cut those buttonholes so they're precise for that gentleman and precise for the fabric, because this is kind of a tweed fabric, this is a twill, and they're both going to hang and drape differently. And all that needs to be taken into account. The coat for this one, it's a canvas coat, and you know that because you can hold the lining, you can hold the inner piece, and you can hold the exterior fabric. That's important because then the garment can mold to you, as opposed to being fused, glued, where it's going to be hot, humid, it's uncomfortable, and you better be shaped the way the mannequin that it was glued on is shaped, because there's just not a lot of flexibility. Canvas-based garments will actually feel better 3 months after you've owned it than it does the first day, because it's going to shift and bend to your unique body shape. Here, to do it faster and quicker, they used a heavier gauge canvas. So it's a pretty heavy weighted fabric. The only reason this one is a little bit here heavy is because the gentleman requested he wanted a tweed, an English tweed. But we here have canvas. And notice when I'm doing this, you don't hear any sound like tape being pulled off of something. That's when you're tearing the glue away from the fabric. Don't do that. If you can't find it, leave it alone. Get as much wear as you can from the garment. It's okay. So that's two things on the coat. The other is that on this one here, it was cut individually for the slope of the shoulder, the pitch of the shoulder, and how far your head extends out of your back. And everybody stands differently, either erect, slouched, all kinds of different positions. And if you've ever had any injury, this is also important because we can account for that so that it lays right on you, you're comfortable, and you're happy. And that's always a good thing, being happy. The other problem the gentleman had with this garment was the vest. And the vest, in this case, is what we call a solid or fabric back. See, the fabric on the back is the same as the front. But they predid it, and they didn't do any measurements for the length of their torso. You've seen people that are short-waisted, long-waisted. Well, you got to account for that, or you end up with a garment where the vest only comes down on you like this, and it doesn't get to where it should cover your belt buckle. And that was one of the problems the gentleman had. But there's no fabric here to make it longer. He needs at least an inch. Well, we have to see if the manufacturer still has this fabric that matches so that it doesn't look weird when it's done. Then it also, because it's not custom, we have it here marked and pinned that it has to come in because the bottom of the vest flares out. Full Bespoke Custom takes this into account. And as you can see, both vests, the fabric back matches the front. This gentleman preferred to have a lapel on his vest. Yes, it's sewn here at the top, just like the vest on the other, but measurements were taken to allow for their torso. And that's just not the length, but some of us have little tummy, and we got to go over that in order for you to feel and look right. This is how you finish the bottom of a coat or a vest. You've got a little give here in the fabric because you're going to move, but you have everything sealed off nice and smooth, so in dry cleaning, it'll get pressed right. When you take shortcuts, to call it custom, you end up with the bottom of a garment being like this. They just folded the fabric back right here, and then just tacked it. This will end up with a lot of lumpiness and crease lines on the front when it's dry cleaned and pressed by professional cleaners. Okay? So it's not the best way to go about constructing that. Okay? And so that's the vest. On the trouser, you finish a pant off not by putting a piece of satin here to hold part of the hem and then just put a couple of stitches. If you had to adjust the length because they pre-did it, you've got a lot of work involved to return this to its original state just to make the pant longer because there is fabric there. So it can be adjusted, but it's going to be a lot more expensive to do it because of doing it that way. On Bespoke, the gentleman here was going for an older look, so he's got a pleat in his trouser. That's this here. And he added cuffs. On the underside, it's tacked down. And so they don't lose the pants in dry cleaning, it has his name. And so they don't lose that, we put the name on the inside of the pant there. And we also put the name on the inside of the waistband. Again, it just is for your benefit so it doesn't get lost at the cleaners. Because sometimes things get separated. It's nobody's fault, it just happens. Another example on the trouser, is a non-reinforced belt loop. This is just a thin piece of fabric that's been stitched on the top and attached to the pant, rather than having a reinforced and doubled belt loop so that it holds. Bar tacked on the bottom, bar tacked on the top, and sewn into the waistband. The waistband here on full custom is not only sturdier, but has what we call snug techs in the trade to hold your shirt tucked in. So when you sit down, we also have pleating here so that when you sit down, it doesn't bite you. The waistband doesn't bite you because we're all going to sit down sometime. And, oh, I got to suck it in when I sit down. That's no fun. Here we have a solid waistband, okay, and there's no substance to it. So this has got durability problems right there. But that's what happens when you're trying to save money and make it quicker. You also can shortchange the pocketing to be extra thin. You only tape it instead of having pocketing that's sturdy, sewn and taped, so you do both. So you don't put your hand through your pocket. And then of course you bar tack the pockets on the end. Lastly, if you're going to buy a custom suit, you probably want to buy something that's all wool or bamboo, wool and silk, better and finer fabrics, not a polyester wool blend. Yes, it saves money, but in the long run, what you end up is pilling on a garment wherever you're getting rubbing. Could be on the side of your coat, could be in the crotch, because your legs rub together. Then we also have a nylon zipper. And nylon, if you're not careful with the heat, the cleaners can mess up the zipper. On full bespoke, you've got a brass zipper. This will take anything. This would be a zipper like a Jeep. This is a zipper like an Abrams tank. Beat it, torture it, it's still going to be there. And so get what you pay for. Just to say, well, I have a custom garment, make sure it's custom to you, not customized. Bespoke used together with custom means it's only for Randy, means it's only for Juan. Okay, not customized from something we already have hanging on the rack and we modify it. Nothing wrong with that suit, and we do customize suits. You can make it look like a custom suit, but you don't want to be paying a custom price for something that isn't custom. And if you're the one having to measure rather than somebody with the tape who knows how to measure, good luck. It's common to find on the internet, if you look at reviews, various companies, I'm not going to name them, but you can look them up online, and their reviews will say that on average, the third suit is the one that fits right, because the first two were experiments. So the guy that goes, hey buddy, I got a custom suit for $450. Great. But you had to buy 3 of them to get close. So be careful about what you think is economical. Get what you pay for. You're the customer, you deserve it. And it's only fair that you get what you expect and you get what you deserve. Here at Bespoke by Custom Stitches, we only go bespoke. We only go full custom. We have made to measure, but we're going to tell you it's made to measure. And we can customize off the rack because we have 5 tailors. And we now have 2 locations, one in Ventura Harbor, that's called Portside, and then one here a block and a half off the freeway in Oxnard, right across the street from the big tall, well, it's actually the tallest building between Woodland Hills and San Jose, so it's kind of easy to find that landmark, all 22 or 23 stories of it. So come, take a look, check us out, and see the difference. See and feel the quality, because you deserve it.